Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Street Urchin here. There are a great number of topics I'd love to cover on my channel, because as an ENTP I enjoy calling out silliness. Although there's quite a bit of that going on in the world these days, not a whole lot of it pertains to MBTI. Unless we try. I'm definitely gonna get some hate for this video. One of those silly topics is the decline of people having relations these days. Supposedly, a Pew Research study has determined that 60% of men under the age of 30 are single, which is almost double that of women in the same bracket. So I can understand why some people would be turning to MBTI to help them, and that's not good. MBTI is going to give you some inclination as to whether you're likely to be compatible with somebody for the long term. You can plan for certain eventualities, like an ESTJ not budging from how things normally are, to an ENFJ deciding it's time to move on to bigger and better things. So when it comes to standard heterosexual relationships, men and women typically want certain things in their partner. Different attitudes, different preferences. When it comes to MBTI, each personality will have some changes in those preferences. But I suppose what most of you are looking for is a personality that you can just get along with and potentially have a long-lasting relationship. Good on you. There's very little doubt that modern-day promiscuity has made some changes to the marriage scene. Many men aren't having relations, while many more women have taken to sharing top-tier chads. So this is where it's gonna get rough. Many women prefer a man who's making money, or on his way to making money, career, college, etc. Is confident, charismatic, takes charge, looks put together, and of course the real killer, men who are 6 feet tall or taller. And yes, I'm aware that no matter how good you are at MBTI, it's not gonna make you grow. So you'll have to rely on your strengths and improve the weaknesses of your personality, or at least try. Men, however, generally prefer a woman who's docile, agreeable, youthful, and pretty. Bit of a shorter list, and I would like to repeat myself, because I love doing that so much. We're talking in generalities, not any one person in particular. If you're watching my channel, we can just make the assumption that you're not average. But if you're looking at a chance for love, which by the way is pleasant moments with someone over a long period of time, you may end up getting with someone who is decidedly normal. My INTJ mother, for example, first married an ENFP, my father, then married an ISTJ, then married an ESTP, and I have no doubt is currently working to make her new boyfriend into the 4th divorce. Point is, there aren't as many N-types to go around, and not all of them want to get married. Some N-types you're not going to find attractive, some N-types only want to smash and move on, and if you don't want to be miserable and or alone, you may need to change their perceptions of you. For the men, this is the list of personalities that women in general find most attractive, just based on personality alone. And when I say attractive, I mean the personalities that many young women will actively chase after. You've got ENTJ, ENFJ, ENFP, ENTP, ESTP. If you're not on the list, don't change the channel. I'm trying to help, I swear. Each of these personalities are attractive in different ways, but I'd first like to point out that these personalities have a bent towards dealing with the external. They're interactive with their environment just a little bit more. That includes people. All of them have little difficulty speaking with others. ESTPs have third position extroverted feeling. Growing up, they learned to socialize and logically deduce what the correct or incorrect things to say were given the current situation. ENTJs command an expert use of extroverted thinking, which causes them to gain information from others. Often includes listening to people. And this part is stupidly important. None of these personalities were just born knowing exactly how to talk to people. They had a preference for practicing it. Believe it or not, I was not always the smooth talker that sells sin to saints. I had to grow up with a lot of awkward moments, whether caused by me or others. So remember to practice, practice, practice. The more you engage with another person, the better you get. The more confidence you build. Experiment with saying certain things, broaching certain topics. Watch how others succeed or screw up conversations. Out of all the advice I will give on this video, this part is the most important. Okay, now we can move on to the other aspects that are a bit easier to manage. ENTJs have women lined up from wall to wall, looking for their Christian Grey. What's making them so attractive? They focus on themselves and moving up in the world, and they're not gonna let anyone stand in their way. That means they're not glued to their phone waiting for women to text them. They're gonna make it in the world or die trying. Many women find that specific behavior attractive. ENTJs lock on to finding success and bolster themselves in whatever way that they can, through connections, getting amazing grades, even staying physically fit. Think Christian Bale from American Psycho. That kind of mental resilience comes naturally to an ENTJ, but it's not impossible for you to emulate. The more you focus on yourself, both physically and mentally, the more desirable you will become. It also stands to reason that this will help you on a financial level. You may not be rich, but many women respect a man's drive to bring in more resources.
Get me some money too.
Now for you lovely ladies, I'm sure you all have figured out by now it's not difficult for you to just walk outside, pick a man at random, and have a relationship. But of course you're not looking for the average man, and you're not the average woman. You're tough, you're smart, you're driven, you're innovative, you're educated. But you wanna hear a secret? Men don't care. Out of all things that most men want out of women, being smart and rich are pretty damn low on the list, ranking somewhere between being funny and level of education. It's not that those traits aren't good, they just don't rank as high as others. Top tier men desire peace of mind and companionship. So which female personality types are most likely to offer that? ESFJ, ISFJ, ISFP. If you're not on the list, don't change the channel. I'm trying to help. You'll also notice a bit of a pattern here. These women are often highly agreeable. These women typically expect men to take the reins, wanting a leader to make decisions. And I know that there's a few of you scowling at me right now, but you have to ask yourself, why would a top 10% man choose to be with a woman who busts his balls all the time? A woman who has her own path to follow, who wants to live life her own way, a woman who wants to be well-traveled or worldly, when he can instead wife up an ISFJ and have an attentive companion for life? The answer is they don't. And remember, the combined total females of those three personalities are nearly 40% in the US population. So that means approximately 33 million men are deciding between nearly 120 million women. So, you know, you've got some competition. Now, how would you be able to emulate some of those characteristics? But more than that, outshine those 120 million other women. Being agreeable? You can do that easy, you don't need help with that. Convincing a man you're willing to let them take the wheel? Obviously, for INTJs and INFJs, that's a little difficult, but they can get over it if a lot of money is involved. The trick is to showcase your particular strengths and proving to those most desirable men that your creativity and drive can be an asset that further pushes you both to success. For introverted intuitives, point some of that energy towards the man you want to lock down. Try envisioning ambitious goals if you were in their shoes. Show them what things would be like with you under their wings. Show them how well you can find relevant information, how well you can schedule their life with near maximum efficiency. Don't forget that downtime is important for some people. Extroverted intuitives, you can easily use your strength of imagination to come up with a number of creative ways to make his life more interesting, more entertaining. You can spoon feed him ideas on what might work and what might fail, bringing new things to your relationship that you could both enjoy. A valuable skill for anyone, really.
We don't submit to terror. We make the terror.
As you can see, both men and women are going to have their share of difficulties in finding a long-term mate that they actually want. And some of you just realize that you're going to have a more difficult time than most. For many of you introverted feeling preferenced men, you're going to have to modify your normal values. You'll have to sideline many of those negative feelings to raise your confidence. You'll have to stop always caring about the feelings of others and start caring about the future you. For some of the women watching my channel, being agreeable isn't the easiest thing in the world for you. And some women are so busy seeing all the possibilities with different people that they forget to see the possibilities in just one person. But, you know, there's a lot of division in the sexes these days, and men aren't always that great at letting women know what they're looking for. This video only scratches the surface of what I want to talk about. I'm just seeing whether or not this video blows up my channel, good or bad. I have a ton of specific advice for each personality type, male or female, do's and don'ts for each type, so if it's something you want to see, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to be up to date with practical MBTI advice, make sure to subscribe. But that's all I've got for this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.